Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Build a Better Bike. In this episode, I will not be building a better bike, but instead, I'll be building a better bike shop. Through a series of unfortunate events, we have had to move, but it hasn't all been bad because I now have a new place to film in, and this might be the largest space I've ever had to work with. It's a 20 by 20 cold storage area, and it's going to be this channel's new home. So while I get to work making this a proper shop/studio, I want to tell you the story of how I got here. For avid viewers of the channel, of which there aren't many of you, but I am grateful to those of you who there are, you will know that in the past few years, I have attempted to become a full-time content creator through this channel and my other channel, Andrew Good Camera, which is a photography channel, but I am quitting full-time content creation, and this is something I'm really sad about. In fact, this has been one of the hardest things I've had to deal with in my adult life, if I'm not being too dramatic in saying that. Full-time content creation was my dream, and a big bully named reality came and ripped it right out of my hands. So how did it come to this? There really are just two reasons, maybe two and a half. The first big reason for it has been my health. Being a content creator takes a ton of energy. If you've never been a full-time creative, you may not appreciate this, but those of you who engage in a creative endeavor, like building custom bikes or photography, what I do, you think about the amount of energy that it would take to engage in that activity full-time, but then add to that having to also be a full-time documentary film crew yourself to document your own creative endeavor. It is astounding the amount of physical and mental energy that it requires. So next time you're watching your favorite YouTube channel, be sure to give them a big thank you in the comments, because unless you've experienced it, it's hard to appreciate how taxing it is. And the reality is that my body was not able to handle it, at least not full time. I suffer from some health issues that make it so that when I go hard physically and mentally for too long, I will absolutely crash and suffer from debilitating weariness. That is the reason I got into being a bike mechanic, actually. I stopped riding bikes as much because I just couldn't do it. But I still wanted to work with bikes because bikes are awesome. But with the channel, I was in a bad cycle where I couldn't rest enough between videos that I was shooting. And that showed up in my output. So far this year, I've only been able to create 9 videos, and maybe that's fine for a hobby, but that's not enough for someone trying to make a living on YouTube. On top of that, because I have struggled in keeping consistency, I've just been getting murdered in the algorithm. With YouTube, consistency is one of the absolute most important things. Full-time creators know that above all, you publish. You keep your schedule. You can't let that slip, and if you do, it's easy to get swept away. And that's where we get into the second reason why it's not working, and that's that it's just harder to get views than it used to be. I started this channel during COVID when people were getting into mountain biking in huge numbers, like we've never seen before, and I was able to ride that wave of views for a while. But ever since then, the views have steadily been decreasing, and that's not just for me, that's for creatives everywhere, especially in mountain biking, but really it's YouTube in general. Everything is slowing down. And for someone trying to support a family to see a video that you have spent literally all the mental and physical energy you have completely fall flat with a fraction of the views that you thought it would and could receive, it's not just disappointing, it can be devastating. And when I felt good, man, it was good. It was exciting to wake up knowing that I was going to get paid to do the thing that I was passionate about. I was planning builds and resto mods, thinking of creative ideas, geeking out with new toys and new components. I was getting brands to send me cool stuff. It's all I really ever wanted to do for a living. And so it was all the more difficult when after a video fell flat, I would also be completely depleted of all ability to get up and do it again. It was a horrible cycle, and my wife and I knew that it wasn't sustainable. I had to accept the fact that I needed to get back into full-time employment doing what I used to do, and that was just to be on a computer all day. As hard as it was to admit, that was a job that even at my worst with my health, I was really good at, even when I had to do it from bed, which I often had to do, and I got paid good money. The only problem was that the last few years have been an absolute bloodbath for people in my space and what I do. And I can't tell you how many jobs that I applied for the past 3 years and did not receive so much as an email response back. I've never experienced this much difficulty finding a job like this in 20 years of being in software. But finally, my efforts did pay off. But before I get into that, I do want to tell you about a partner of this channel that I've loved working with, and that's Feedback Sports. There's several reasons why I use Feedback Sports products. The first is the high-quality tools. I've used many brands' tools, and these are the ones that I've been most happy with. So although I do have a massive tool chest full of all kinds of tools, bike tools especially, the backdrop of my channel is going to feature my favorite tools, both to look at and use, and that's my Feedback Sports tools. This kit right here is great, and most everything you need to be an effective bike mechanic you can get with this kit that I'm putting up in my background by using the affiliate link below. Just as important though, if not more important for a creator like me, is a solid bike stand. This is the Feedback Sports Pro Mechanic HD, and it keeps my projects nice and stable for filming. But also it's just so easy to transport and so easy to get bikes on and off of. This is the best stand that I've ever used, and I can't recommend it enough. Finally, let's get these projects sorted with some awesome bike storage accessories that Feedback Sports offers. These Velo hinges are great for bikes on the wall. They pivot for easy access to neighboring bikes, plus it permits flat space-saving storage all along the wall. But Feedback Sports has lots of other storage options. With this guy, we can just park a bike on the stand, and super modular and keeps it nice and stable. So if you're in the market for any of this bike stuff, I can't recommend Feedback Sports enough. You can support my channel and also get a product that you know is going to work well by using my affiliate links below. As I was saying, I finally have landed a full-time job doing something I'm very good at, and which pays well enough that hopefully me and my family can worry less about survival and more about just being healthy. It's a job I don't have to kill myself physically to do, and ironically, I'm finding more time and energy, not to mention creative bursts and just resources to be able to make more videos than even when I was a full-time creator. At least that's been my experience the past month. My output has increased, and so to me that's a good sign that maybe quitting my full-time content creation job, ironically, might just be the best thing I could have done for my content creation career. But only time will tell. But I think we're about done with my recording studio. It features aspects of my favorite hobbies, of course, biking, but also photography and music, which works great for the fact that I run multiple channels. But this will be the new home of Build a Better Bike for the foreseeable. I hope you like it. We do have some exciting builds coming up, including some restorations of these bikes that I've shown you on the walls, but also some truly unique dream builds. But until then, thank you for watching and supporting the channel, and we will talk to you again real soon.